Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Drisky, and today we will be making these origami puppies with these adorable little floppy ears. Now, your teacher may already have some material set aside for you, but for those of you that are creating these at home with us, look around. You might find more paper options in your house than you realized was even possible. I'm going to share with you some of those paper options today, and keep in mind that even though I added on features with paper, the only things that you really need are a piece of paper, your hands, and then a drawing utensil of some sort for your puppy, whether that be a pencil, a marker, a Sharpie, a crayon, whatever you have that you feel like will be appropriate. The other great thing about this project is simply that you can use basic materials, or you can get as fun and funky with it with as many materials as you have laying around your house. So if you have, for example, googly eyes, you could add googly eyes to your dogs. If you have sticky rhinestones, you could add spots with sticky rhinestones. You could add real ribbon for the bow in the dog's hair. So there's a lot of things that you can do to really jazz it up by looking around your house and seeing what you have. Now, some of you might have origami paper around your house. It's a specialty paper that's nice and thin. On one side, it is completely white, while the other side has pattern. This will affect the way your puppy looks in the end because the mouth area will end up being white while the rest of the puppy will have pattern. Another option is to use scrapbook paper. Some is like origami, where it's white on one side and patterned on the other. But some scrapbook paper actually has patterns on both sides. So your entire puppy would have a pattern and color. Now, if you have construction paper at home, you can use construction paper. If you get a newspaper sent to your house or catalogs, you can even use those. You could use the colored ad part of a newspaper. You could use a magazine. Now, this is actually the paper that I used to create this cute little puppy here. You can see the orange on the other side, the brownish orange kind of flipping up. And I ended up cutting some to add to his ears. So I actually used a paper like this to create the puppy up top. You could use a note card. You could use paper from an envelope. So this was a big envelope that was sent to my house, and I just cut it down to a square. Also, on the inside of the envelope, to protect the information that's being mailed, they put a pattern like this so people can't really see through the envelope to the letter. So you could ask your parents if they have junk mail or anything like that you can check and see if it has cool patterns on the inside. Now, I'd like to go ahead and show you, for those of you that are maybe even just working with copy paper, computer paper at home, that also works great. But that comes in a rectangle, and we need to get it to be a square. Your parents might be able to help you cut square, but for those of you that might be working on your own and you don't maybe have a pair of scissors, I'm going to show you how to get this into a square shape without measuring or cutting. So what you want to do is find the area that you want to keep. I think I want to keep this side, this bottom half, so I'm going to flip that so it's on the top. Then I'm going to take the top left corner and I'm going to bring that top left corner all the way to touch this edge. I'm not going to bring it past it. I'm going to make sure it stops at the edge and that this whole side lines up with this whole side. So see, I'm bringing this whole side to line up with this side. And what that does is that's going to show me that from there up is a perfect square. So now what I need to do is I need to fold this section up. This is the section that I want to get rid of, and I could either cut right along this edge here with scissors, or I can rip it if I don't have a pair of scissors. To rip it, I'll need to make those paper fibers really weak. And to make it really weak, I'm going to kind of fold back and forth along the same fold over and over again. If you have thicker paper, you may have to do it more times. If you have thinner paper, it might be enough to just do it kind of 10 times. But you'll find that the more you go back and forth, the weaker the edge will become where you are folding and creasing. So now I can go ahead and I can rip along that edge. If you have a ruler, you can even put the ruler right there and tear along the ruler edge. I'm going to go slow to make sure I get a nice tear. Ta-da! Now you can see I have a square sheet of paper that is ready to be turned into a puppy dog. And a lot of dogs are actually kind of black and white or gray. So this would be a great sheet of paper to use. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this bottom right up to meet the top left. Now remember, if you don't know which side is your left, you make L's out of your hand, whichever is the correct one. This is the correct hand, that's the left side. So I know that this is the left side of my paper. So I'm taking my bottom right up to meet my top left. And I'm going to make sure that when I bring it up to meet the top left, I'm lining up these edges. I don't want to miss the edge like that. I don't want to stop a little bit short. I want to go all the way up to the corner and line up this edge and this edge. And then I'm going to crease. That means that right here, I want to make it flat. So I'll take the side of my thumbnail and I'll run it right along so I get a nice sharp edge. Once I've done that, I'm going to take the bottom left and bring it up to meet the top right. Now I'm going to open it up and place it so that the point is facing towards my belly. Now I'm going to take the top corner and I'm going to fold it so it points down to create this ear. You don't want to pull it so far that we can't even see the dog's face anymore because it's covered up with the ear. And you don't want to make it so small that it has these tiny little ears. So when you go ahead and pull it, kind of pull it and keep an eye on where it's going and make sure that before you crease, it looks like a dog's ear. Now I will do the other ear. I'm going to go about 2 fingers width over and then fold it again. And I want to keep an eye on this side and try my best to make this ear look pretty similar to the other ear. Once I feel like I've got that, I can take the side of my thumbnail and I can go ahead and I can crease. So I've only done 4 folds and I'm almost done with the dog shape already. Now all I need to do is to lift the mouth so we get this cute little snout right here. So I'm going to go to the bottom point and I'm going to lift just the top flap. And when I lift that top flap, I want it to go a little bit below halfway. Okay, now if you'd like, you can see that on this puppy, I actually took a pair of scissors and I did a rounded curve here at the bottom. So I rounded off, turning my scissors to get it to be curved for chin, but you can also leave it pointy like that. So if you have glue at home, now's the time when you would want to add a little bit of glue to get that snout to stay down. Now that you're done with the dog's face, you can use other papers and materials you have around your house to make the facial features. For example, this one was entirely made out of magazine paper with a little bit of Sharpie for the eyes. And it's okay if you don't have those materials at home. I'm going to show you how to do the whole puppy face using just a drawing utensil. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add his nose. Dogs' noses come in all shapes and sizes. So if you have a dog at home, you can look at theirs. Some are a little bit more rounded, most are a little bit more oval. Some are kind of like a rounded triangle. I'm going to do an oval for mine. Now I'm going to draw the line down for his snout. And I can go ahead and put 3 or 4 little dots on each side. I like to do a top and a bottom one and then one on the side. Now I can go ahead and do his eyes. His eyes are not going to be that much higher up than his nose. You can see on this one, the eyes almost start where the top of the nose stops. And they're going to push out a little bit closer to the ears. Some dogs' eyes are more oval, some are more rounded. I'm going to go ahead and do round eyes. And I'm going to draw a circle, and then I'll do one on this side. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw a circle inside of each circle, and I'm going to leave a little bit of space in between my 2 circles. That is for the white of the eye. Then in each one I'm going to add a highlight. My highlight should be on the same side. So if I draw this one on the right side, by drawing a circle inside the center circle, I should do the other highlight on the right side inside the center circle. Then I can go ahead and color in around that. But again, I'm leaving white space between my center circle and my outside circle. If I want, I can add little eyebrows. If you make them go down, the dog will look like it's barking and maybe angry. If you draw them towards the outside and make them a little bit more curved, then the puppy dog is going to look a little bit happier. I like to add a couple little broken lines to the bottom of the ear to make it look kind of floppy. And I can also go ahead and add a tongue. I may want to start a little bit above where the snout is. And I'm just going to give it a big oval tongue. Now, I can leave it like that, or I can color it and give it spots or stripes. I think I'm going to go ahead and give it spots so it looks like a Dalmatian. And now I have a cute little Dalmatian that I created entirely out of a piece of paper from an envelope, my hands, and a writing utensil. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have fun. I look forward to seeing what materials you choose to use, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.